Well, I'm Conan, and welcome back to Barbarian Builds. This one's a fun one. And to kickstart today, we are going to talk about the Havok fire. This is probably one of my favourite Nerf blasters of all time. I have such good childhood memories of this thing. Playing it with my best mate, his older brother had one, and he would dominate us because anyone who owns one of these knows it's pretty awful. But it's fun, and that's the important thing. And to me, this is just childhood nostalgia. And I was fortunate enough to end up in the position of having two of them. And I said, I want to build a custom one. So, what would I like a custom Vulcan to do? First thing is, I'd like it to fire, obviously, a little bit better. It doesn't have to be a lot better. I only play for fun. This isn't meant to be a competitive project. But I wanted to have it fire, more respectable. Like, something that if someone's using a strife against me, I'm not going to get completely wrecked. I wanted a little bit of a higher rate of fire. I'm not someone who wants ridiculous high rates of fire. I'm actually working on a project for that at the moment. So I didn't really feel the need to have this as a project. Honestly, this was more about just having a fun chain gun. I wanted a stock because, let's be honest, when you're a kid, this is like, feels like a proper minigun. When you're an adult, I can pistol this thing. That's a heavy gun, and even that is still a little bit small. This thing is just, yeah, it's not really quite the heavy gun, so I thought, why not make it a rifle? Why not make it a Call of Duty style LMG? So I wanted the stock, I wanted better performance. I like the yellow paint job, but I was going to do my own paint job. It'd be cool if it could fire, something different types of ammunition. And I thought, screw it, I've got a Stampede shield which I'm not using, I'll throw that on there. And if it will fit in frame, this is what I made. And it's totally not going to fit in frame. So now let's have a look at actually what is going on here. I apologise, it does not fit in frame. But we'll start at the front. As we can see, we have two out of darts little rocket proud pappers. I will send a link to Out of Darts in the description. These little things are absolutely incredible. Shipping kills, but that's just because I live in England. Like, if you live in America, these things are incredibly great value. Speaking of little rockets, I have multiple different barrel types for them. So I've got the Demolisher ones on here, which also fire single elites, but you can fire shotgun shot or mega. I think the orange missiles just look cool, as you saw in the firing demo. Do they work that well? No, but style points. We have a little painted leaf deck. I don't know why I went with leaf. I kind of ran with like the whole fleur-de-lis night kind of look, and then just ended up putting leaves everywhere. Because apparently elves now use Havok fires. I don't know. I just kind of went with it, and I like it. Moving back, we have a Stampede shield, which I attempted to, as you can clearly see, I don't say I have many talents, and art isn't one of them, but I just don't have many talents. I called it Paladin, EBF25, because obviously it takes the belts. And Paladins, I thought that was kind of a cool tank defender. It's kind of like a heavy kind of LMG look. Did some decal on the battery tray. We used everyone, when I posted this on Reddit, everyone was like, oh yeah, the old A long strike sight, well, it actually came with the second demolisher, the modulus demolisher, but it is effectively a long strike sight. For glory, because I'm cheesy. And then we have the stock at the back, which actually, this is the cool part, it just quite simply connects on. The tape is actually more for detail, it didn't really need to be there, it looked quite nice, I just wanted the gold wrap. Which, as you can clearly see, it's not my forte, but it's actually really comfy, so I like it. Again, some nice sort of decals on the wooden stock. This is a custom wooden stock. The steel bracket is just for support, because it's actually dremeled out, so it can store a magazine, or it can store a second belt. As you can see, I have two. And in terms of the belts, you can fire waffles, or you can fire, actually I found you can fire X-shot darts. Excuse the fact there is one missing. We will say, rest in peace to the missing dart. It's fine, I'll get a replacement. And that pretty much covers the external overview. I see also a little bit of decals on the mag at the back. The nice thing about the stock is you don't need to run anything in it if you want to save on weight, or you can hold a spare belt, spare magazine with extra darts. It's whatever suits you. I personally like the look of the mag back there. I think it completes the build and adds a bit more orange back there, makes it look a bit heavier duty, and I wasn't really using that 25 drum anyway. Now onto the internal specs. I was originally going to replace the spring and do a complete rewire, but we're surrounded in a room full of, apart from the old Havok fire and mediator, everything else here is actually modified and hits quite hard. And I realised that actually I didn't really have anything fun to take with me to a kind of a stock war, so to say. So I kind of left this thing with its stock spring, and it kind of shoots, just as it used to, which is a little bit disappointing, I will definitely admit, but I'd much prefer that. So then actually, if I want to go play with the stock war where there's perhaps young children, this is perfectly safe and I'm not going to hurt anyone. But what I did still do though, is a rewire, because I am not running this thing on D batteries. I'm a student, and I'm not going to keep forking out my money for D batteries. Plus the weight, so it runs on just rechargeable nickel metal hydrate. I have 7 cells, which is 8.4 volts if my maths is correct. It should be. I have an A level in maths, so it should be correct. 8.4 volts, yeah, it's 8.4 volts, and it does cycle through a chain quicker than it was originally. It will cycle through a full chain in actually about 6 seconds, which, you know what, I'm happy with, probably just under. I have to do a proper time for that too. If I do a time for that and it's any different, I will mention it in the description. But last time I checked, it was pretty much 6 seconds, just a little bit under. And that is pretty much all I changed. I didn't really want to end up changing a lot. I kind of just wanted this to be a fun kind of aesthetic mod to do. I had 2 lying around. But I think you've probably had enough of me talking now, so let's get to more firing. Well, as per usual, I have my amazingly artistic, perfect target. Honestly, with the stock spring in this, that's probably actually quite over-ambitious to try and hit, but we'll give it a go. Check it's on. I always forget to turn this thing on. That is like my one downfall. Here we go. All things considered, that was not actually that bad. I'll take that. Now, being completely honest, that fire rate was a little bit slow, so I think I probably do need to change the batteries. Now, that's not the fault of, oh, the batteries are low on charge. That's the fault of, it only runs on rechargeable AA's at the moment, and they just don't have the capacity. I played a lot running around yesterday in the park. However, I should have a LiPo from Amazon, if Amazon can pull their fingers out their backside, arriving this week. So perhaps I have to rewire it for a 3S and see if that makes things any better. But anyway, firing waffles now. Definitely straighter. I love firing waffles. The actual darts obviously fire a bit harder, that's just because they're lighter. But the waffles actually fire really straight. I actually really like that. For this one, I have attached a Mega Dart. And we'll see how well it fires one of these. Oh yes, that'll do. And once more, this time hopefully actually in frame so you can see the dart fire. Nearly landed in my tee, that would have been disastrous. I love my tee. They'd always ask you in school, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I always used to say the PG Tips monkey. And to finish up, we have the shotgun shot. Man, I love out of darts. Well, I'm afraid that will be all for, well, I'm afraid you've probably listened to me rant long enough, but that'll be all from me today. Also, thank you everybody for watching. If you made it this far, I really do appreciate you. This was probably the most fun I've had with the build so far. Just because to me, it's just so awesome and just feels really cool. I cannot stress how like cool this feels to hold. Because it just feels like a big, beefy LMG. But no, thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you all have had sort of like wonderful April, start of May now, where is this year going? It's going far too quickly. But stay safe, everybody, have fun, and that is all from me today.